What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best ways to collect guest email addresses for your short-term rental property. Now, before I dive into the details, I think the best place to start is with why you would even want to do this. Now, a lot of people are happy just listing their properties on Airbnb. And for the most part, that's honestly what I recommend, is just start by mastering the platform of Airbnb, maybe add in some other booking platforms like VRBO and booking.com. And then when you really want to take things to the next level, and this can be especially valuable as you scale your portfolio if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 properties in the same area, that's where email marketing and other different types of marketing strategies for your properties can come in really handy. For example, when we have 2 or 3 or 4 properties up in cottage country outside of Toronto, when someone stays at one of those properties, if we can get a way to market to them directly, like an email address, then that allows us to market to them with all the other properties we have in the area. So we can not only ask them and encourage them to stay at our place again, but we can also refer them to one of our other properties if they want a slightly different experience next time. This can also be a really helpful strategy if you're in a market that has a really defined low season. A really great way to drive extra bookings is by offering incentives to your email list or your social following, different things, just being able to advertise directly with promotions to people to fill in some of those gaps that would otherwise sit vacant in your calendar. That can be a really big value add. Guys, just want to take a quick break here to say that for those of you watching who want to build cash flow and long-term wealth by purchasing Airbnbs and short-term rental properties, there's a link in the description right down below for a free training that'll walk you through my exact strategy for investing successfully in Airbnbs. Now, if you're not ready to actually buy properties and you want to get started managing other people's properties on Airbnb the same way I got started and build a full-time income managing other people's properties, there's actually another free training linked in the description down below as well that'll be a really great fit for you. So whether you want to invest in short-term rental properties and actually build amazing cash flow and long-term wealth by acquiring the assets, buying the properties themselves, or you're looking to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb, we've got some awesome trainings that are linked in the description down below that'll definitely help you out. When you sign up for the trainings, we're also going to send you a few other tools and resources completely for free just to help you get started. Again, the links to sign up are in the description down below, and both trainings and all of the tools are completely free. So make sure to register for the trainings, links in the description down below. So now that we've covered the why, let's dive into the how. I've got 2 main methods I'm going to share with you, and then one third bonus method. The first 2 are going to discuss exactly how to collect email addresses from the guests that actually stay at your property. The third is a bonus strategy for collecting email addresses for prospective guests, meaning people that haven't yet stayed at your property but might want to in the future and would be your kind of ideal guest. So let's start with one of the easiest ways to start collecting guest email addresses, and that is via a guest book. I highly recommend that you use a software like Hostfully, and by the way, I'm not being paid by Hostfully to say this, but I do recommend using a software like theirs to host your guest book because it's a really nice user-friendly way to have an electronic guest book so that guests can pull it up on their phone, navigate through different tabs, and find all the information they want about all the great features of your property and all the great things to do nearby. But the real benefit of using a software like Hostfully is that you can toggle on an option so that in order for guests to access that guest book, they need to input their email address first. That then allows you to capture their email address so that you can market to them in the future. Now, that's really good, and that's a solid way to get started. That's personally how I got started, but I rely on that method a lot less now that I've got my hands on the second method that I find to be totally game-changing. So the inherent downside of hosting or collecting email addresses via the guest book is that you're likely only going to get the email addresses of 1 or 2 people in the group because not everyone is actually going to access the guest book, and potentially none of the guests in a given group are actually even going to look at the guest book. So what are they definitely going to access that you can use as a means to collect their email address? Wi-Fi. So think about when you stay at a hotel. When you stay at a hotel and you go to access their Wi-Fi, it's going to ask you for your name, your room number, and your email address in most situations. And so you can actually set that up at your own property so that in order to access the Wi-Fi, guests need to put in a valid email address in order to do that. Now, the great thing about that is that virtually everyone that stays at your property is going to be accessing the email, and that won't just be the target person that's actually booking the property with you, but everyone else in their group as well. So if a group of friends comes up, you're not just marketing to the one person who organized that trip, but you're also able to collect the email addresses and market to everyone else who is a part of that friend group. Now, the way to do this is through a software hardware company called StayFi. Basically, what they allow you to do is buy some hardware that you can attach right into your internet service. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to disconnect everything. It's really actually quite convenient and easy to set up. And then you can set up a splash page where it's going to collect guest email addresses in order for them to access the internet. That way you don't have to worry about complicated passwords. It's nice and easy for them to join. Pretty well anyone can figure it out. You can tell them really easily. You can customize it per property, the splash page, how it shows up. And it's really honestly just a really great solution. Now, another benefit of StayFi is that they have email marketing built right into their platform. So you can do all your actual email marketing directly through StayFi on the software end. So I am just getting started with them. I find it to be an absolutely game-changing tool because it just allows you to collect such a higher volume of email addresses, and it makes the email marketing to them a real breeze. So those are the main two ways that I use to collect guest email addresses, and I love both of them. But there's a third way to collect email addresses of guests that are not staying with you yet, but that are actually really great prospective guests who would be your ideal avatar guests. I'm going to talk in another video later on about how to build up a social media following for your property and different strategies I'm using to do that. But once you've done that, one of the great things that you can do to really take control of the marketing to those people is to run a giveaway on your social media platform for your property. And in order to enter into the giveaway for typically just a couple free nights stay at your place, all they need to do is sign up to your email list. Now, the big benefit of that is that when you promote your property on social media, it ultimately is up to the algorithm to determine whether that promotion actually gets shown to the people in your audience or not. And you don't ultimately own the data, the social media platform does. So if anything ever were to happen, you just don't have as much control. Whereas with email, you can export that into a CSV, you can write those things down by hand. There's no way to really lose that data. You actually are the owner of it. And you have a lot more control over how you promote to people and how much visibility those promotions get. So if you do this really well, it can actually be quite a bit more effective than social media marketing. And you can use the two in tandem to really elevate your overall marketing game. So I found that running a giveaway to your social media audience can be one of the quickest and easiest ways to convert that social media following over to an email list following. So hopefully these tips have been helpful to you. If you got value from this, let me know by just giving this video a like. It really does help me to grow this channel and get these videos in front of more people. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the 2 new videos we post every single week on this channel, helping you to succeed with short-term rentals, whether it's investing or managing other people's properties. And last but not least, if you have any thoughts for me, any questions, thoughts, comments, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. All that said, hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day.